Yeah, that is something that's difficult, and especially it's deceivingly difficult because you can't always share all of the information. Just practically, it's too difficult to share the complete context. And so trying to make sure you're being transparent and honest in the venue that you have. You may only have a newsletter to share the story. So how do you do that? And I think that goes for any of our stakeholders. That goes for how we interact with staff, how we interact with clients, how we interact with donors. And I think one of the lessons I certainly have learned over the years is, boy, it is so much better to be candid and honest and transparent whenever possible to make sure that information gets communicated clearly. It just saves, even if there's some short-term pain that comes from that, it saves a lot of pain later from maybe trying to get around things or not be fully transparent. Boy, that always causes more problems. And so usually we've gotten in a habit with each other even of just being very candid and telling it like we see it as much as possible. And so I think even amongst staff, you and I have even talked about that numerous times, where if we feel like we're having some feelings about somebody on the team or something that's happening, if we're talking about that, we sure as heck better be talking to that person about that too, and just kind of addressing it front on. I think one of the lessons we both have learned through that is that often we build the fear of doing that up way more than the actual event itself. And when you actually have that conversation with a donor to say, you know what, we messed up on this, and here's what we've learned, and here's where we're going, almost always it goes better than you think it's going to go in your mind. And that same thing with staff, if there's a performance issue or something, it's almost always better to just address the issue and talk about it directly. Usually people respect that. They realize not everything's perfect in the world, and what they want to hear is an organization that's understanding what's happening, understanding their failures, and addressing those failures. They don't expect everything to go perfectly and there never to be any problems. What they want to see is an organization who is addressing those things and actively making sure that they're learning from that and not making the same mistakes over and over again.